What's up YouTube, I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, companion games from tabletop to video games, and today we have a very special 2-card combo that can easily hand loop your opponent. Now the only downfall about this specific combo is that it's very much by chance, not the fact that it won't hand loop your opponent. So far it's been constantly consistent of hand looping your opponent, but when it comes to that extra interruption or negates, that's where it differs a lot. But the starting combo is still very good, and the end result, if you're just playing with hand looping your opponent, is quite well. But the reason why we actually chose this clip was because this was actually the worst one compared to all the others, because when it came with the odds and the results, it wasn't as good compared to the rest, but it still did what it was supposed to do. But also it did point out some very important rulings and tips that you should know, especially if you are thinking of doing a similar combo to this. And these type of rulings is definitely ones that could benefit you a lot if you're playing Dark Worlds. Now, with that being said, let's get in. And also, as always, friendly reminder to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel a lot. So we do have Argenta over here, and we have our tour guide. Just these two alone, you could actually open up a lot of possibilities. So it's very important. So we're going to go and activate Argenta to get the gateway. Now, the reason why we're actually using this, okay, not gateway, that's actually the quick play spell, which we're going to mention a bit later. But the reason why we're actually using this first to get gate is because if this actually gets Ash, at least we could combo off with a tour guide. So now we're going to go and summon a tour guide, and we're going to go and supposed summon a dog. Now we're going to link both of them for a Cherubini, and dog's effect is going to trigger to get us the Over King. So now we're all set, and Cherubini is going to go and send the Phoenix Rhino, which is going to go and send the Grapha. So right off the bat, this is starting to look really, really good. And we're going to plus just a little bit more, especially with Gate. So we're going to use Gate to go banish the Genta and discard the Overking. And then we're going to do, oh, we drew into card destruction. And yes, even though we drew into card destruction, and some of you might be like, oh, that's insane, it's actually very too early for us to actually draw into something like this. So you're going to see a lot of the draw power is not really ideal. So compared to our other combos, it's a lot better and beneficial to actually get like card destruction or another gate way later on into your combo, so you do a lot more deck thing first than drawing these right away. So now we're going to go and use our Overking as Chain Link 1, and then use the Genta as Chain Link 2, so our opponent can't Ash the Overking or any interruptions like that. So we're going to go and add the silver. Now we're going to use Overking to spell summon. Now I know I'm declaring the effects, but Overking and Grapha don't activate, just to let you know. So you don't really have to declare it. It's not an activation, so it's just free, and I'm just declaring it for this video just so you guys know exactly what's going on. But in real play, you're not supposed to declare it. So now we're going to use Grapha, special summon, all set. And now we're going to use Genta again to get our second gate. So now we're going to go and activate gate. So we're going to go and banish our Phoenix Rhino, just in case if we decide to make Levinier soon, we could supposed summon, or we have a fiend monster that we could actually supposed summon with ease. So we're going to do that, and we're going to discard our Genta again, and we drew into tour guide, and now we're going to activate the Genta to add silver. So now we're going to activate card destruction. So we're discarding 3, and we're going to go and look at that. We drew into gate, so not really that good actually. So now we're going to activate both silvers. So we're going to bring them onto the board, and then we're going to go and use Genta to return one of our silvers and supposed to summon it, just like that. Now we're going to go and link to make Saruja, and we're going to draw 4. Okay, now we're going to go and put draws back into the deck because we don't really need it. We're pretty much set exactly what we have, and we have Shiruli, so we could start comboing off. If you guys want a little bit more details of Shiruli, definitely click on the video that I have, and that's going to actually show you a lot more information on what you can do with Shiruli and also some cute combos as well. So definitely that video would definitely benefit a lot if you're focusing on doing Shiruli plays. So now we're going to go use Salamander. So we're going to go discard Shiruli, go and supposed to summon it, and now Shiruli is going to discard Silver and supposed to summon Silver, and now our opponent has to take 2 cards from their hand and put it at the bottom of the deck. Now keep in mind right now our opponent only has 3 cards. And one issue about doing this as solo, you can't really do anything when the monster's on your opponent's side of the field. So I'm going to definitely explain some plays to you, and you pretty much have to like imagine like different locations for it. I know it's kind of a nuisance to actually do or unprofessional, but at the same time, it's going to still explain the combo quite well, but it was just a bit of a hassle to actually deal with. So now our opponent only has 3 cards in hand, and we're going to use Overking, return the Silver, and then we're going to use Grapha to return the Overking. Nice. So now we're going to play our second gate, and we're going to use it to discard the Snow, and then we're going to use Snow Effect to go and get Charge. Okay. So now we're going to go and use Charge, so we're going to go and discard the Overking, and bring back Snow, use Overking, and get Grapha. So now we're all set. So now we're going to overlay for number 60, which is going to let us draw 2 and then discard 1. So we're going to draw 2, discard Silver, use Silver, and then we're going to go and use the Overking again to special summon and then link those 2 for our security dragon, which is going to actually put our Shiruli back to hand. So now this is where I say you have to imagine Shiruli being back to hand. So we're going to put it back to hand, and we're going to activate the Dark World Accession, which is going to fusion summon. So this is going to be kind of weird because you see that we're discarding Silver, but let me explain. So security dragon, return Shiruli, activate Dark World Session to fuse Shiruli and Grapha. Okay, then Shiruli triggers, suppose summons to her opponent's side of the field. Effect triggers, sending a Silver, and now Silver is going to trigger and supposed to summon it and put 2 more cards from our opponent's hand to the bottom of the deck. So now, at this very moment, our opponent only has 1 card left in hand. So now we have to go and send that Shiruli to the graveyard. So we're going to show you exactly how we're going to do that. So we're going to go and activate Overking to return Silver, and then Grapha to return. Now the reason why we're doing this is that you constantly want cards in your hand. So I already mentioned that you definitely do, because I've seen so many Dark World players just doing their combos, finishing the turn with 0 cards in hand, and that doesn't make any sense. You always want to have a decent sized hand constantly, especially if you're discarding a lot of cards. So we're going to go and link those 2, and we're going to make a Nightmare Cerberus, which is going to destroy the Shiruli since it was special summon. And since it's co-link, we're going to draw a card too. So we're going to draw. So now you're going to have to imagine Shiruli is in the graveyard. So it's not here anymore. It's now in our graveyard. So now we're going to have to special summon it from the graveyard, which is quite simple. So we're going to go and activate our Dark World Accession. Oh, that was hard to say for some reason. So discarding Snow. Okay, get Paul, which is pretty good. Okay, we're going to discard, link those 2 for our Muckcracker. And then we're going to use Muckcracker to discard Paul. That's such a funny name to call. Paul. I'll call him Paul. So we're going to supposed to summon Snow and discard Paul. And we're going to supposed to summon the Shiruli, okay, because it's in our graveyard technically. And we're going to have this token as a proxy. So now Shiruli is going to discard a card from our opponent's hand. And that's already a hand loop. So right off the bat, we already minus our opponent's 5 cards, and we have already 1 interruption for our opponent's turn. But this isn't just the best. Like, we could actually continue, because Another way to get rid of your opponent's like 6th card where he gets on the draw phase is actually the Gateway to the Dark World, which is the quick play spell that could special summon Shiruli. So we actually have that play as well, which is quite good. So we could leave it like this, which is not bad. To be very honest, this isn't really a bad situation to be in, but just to see, and also especially the rulings that I was mentioning, we're going to go further just a little bit. Okay, so after that, we're going to go and return our snow for Grapha, and then we're going to go and start linking, I believe. Yeah, Nightmare, because we still have Gentas in our deck. Okay, so we could shuffle back the Gateway and draw a card, and also we could play the Gateway as a 4th time. And that's how you actually play Gateway 4th time, is with Nightmare Phoenix. You can bounce your Gate just to activated right after. So it's pretty good. I like it. I do it a lot and always benefit all the time. Okay. So now we got the Chupacabra. So we're all set. We're going to set the fusion because since we could set it, we could activate it on our opponent's main phase. So that's actually quite good. So we can still have that extra interruption. But we're just trying to get into our gateway, which is a free special summon on the opponent's draw phase, just a special summon the Shiruli. So let's see what we do. So we use the Chupacabra, okay, and we're starting from silver to him, so that's going to be 1 to 4. 1, so it was silver. So now we're going to draw a card, and okay, and there was the reptile. Now, this is where we want to get into. So we're going to activate him. Now, some of you might be aware of like you can't because you activate Muckracker's effect. And no, let me tell you about the dangers. Restrictions don't apply to them, okay? Because it's by chance. There's no guarantee of a summoning at all. So you could activate all the dangers. It's the same thing with summon limit. If you already summoned twice, you could actually use all your dangers as many times as you want. The only thing is that if you can't special summon them, that means you can't draw. So you're just constantly discarding cards, which is not an issue for Dark Worlds. And especially us, since we're trying to discard the snow and not the danger, we're trying to activate this as much as possible. So that's what we're doing right now. So we're going to actually return silver. Okay, now I know some of you will be like, oh, but the chances are now like lower because you put another card. True, but also for danger to be hit is actually a lot lower as well. So you kind of have to do the math a little bit for that, but yeah, that's actually why I just added it right now. So now we're going to activate the effect. See what we get. Okay, 4, and that's going to get special summon. And since our board is looking pretty decent, we're going to actually go and use graph to return special, and then we're going to go and return him as well to special. And now we're going to go and make the Underworld Goddess, because who knows, maybe the card that we discarded has a grave effect that could benefit our opponent next turn, or if our opponent draws into a card that could supposed summon it, at least we have a extra negate just for those type of situations. So I think it's pretty good. So now we're going to go and use the effect again. And oh, it was a 2. And there we go. So it's still not bad. If you really think about it, okay, so we have a session, which is going to summon our big guy again. Then we have Underworld Goddess, and also our opponent has 0 cards in hand. So for a 2-card combo, and for all the combo clips I did, and this being the worst one, this is actually amazing. Like for me, I'm thinking like this is actually a very good combo, and probably like the best way to actually start your Dark World combo if you do have Genta and tour guide. This is definitely one that could benefit you a lot, and doing those specific plays that you saw, it really just speed up the process and made you plus. And imagine if you have 5 cards in hand and you're actually starting with a play like this, it's going to be a lot more easier to actually accomplish these type of combos. And also even going second, you can actually do quite a bit, and even like OTK as well. but the chances of not being interrupted at all is a lot lower. And that's it for a combo tutorial. Now, if you guys enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. And if you want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review here on the channel, you can always follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.